Hey everybody, Dr. Candice here, your board certified pediatrician and kid health expert. Today the word in the clinic is screen time. I promised you this conversation. I know I'm coming on a little early. I have a meeting at 1, so I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and it's better to be early than late. So the word in the clinic again is screen time. How much is too much? What's the big deal? How do we strike a balance and get to a happy medium? I'll tell you why. So what is screen time? It's the time that we spend watching TV, on tablets, on smartphones, gaming, anything, looking at anything with the screen. And it's become a problem, especially for our young people. It's affecting their daily lives and the things that they need to be doing. And it's hampering their development and their learning and all of these things. So I'm not saying that it's all bad, but I am saying that we need to limit it and find a balance that still fosters all the good things our kids need to be doing, that's hands-on and that's social, and save just a little time for that fun electronics and looking at the screens and all the things that they like to do. But we really have to keep it in check. It can get out of control really fast and affect our kids in a negative way. So what's the big deal about excessive screen time? There are harmful effects that have been documented, and I want to share those with you so that you will know what the big deal is. So first of all, I have so many young people, especially my teenagers, where their parents come in to see me. They think their child is fatigued and tired and sleepy all the time, and they're wondering if something's wrong, and they want the $1 million workup on them. And I get to the bottom of it, and a lot of times, most of the time, it's because they are staying up all night looking at screens, whether it's their smartphone or the young men gaming or just watching TV. So their sleep is affected. And we know that sleep is so important for learning and development and just overall well-being. And so we can't be on our phones all night. And that goes for some adults too. Put them down. All right. We're going to give you some tips later. So sleep is affected. And it's a domino effect, and it affects everything else the rest of the day when you don't get enough sleep. A lot of our kids are spending a lot of time gaming and on their pads and on their electronics to the point where they're not going outside to play anymore. They're not doing any activities anymore. So therefore, that sedentary lifestyle is causing problems with childhood obesity. That's one of the contributing factors. Also, there are some visual syndromes now that the eye doctors are seeing with a lot of screen time. It also affects our kids' social skills, the ability to look people in the eye and have a conversation. It's affecting manners. When I walk into a room, a lot of my kids won't even look up and say, "Hi, doctor," because they're in that screen. So we're not connecting like we used to. When we meet people at home and families, kids are being isolated, staying in their rooms or in a certain area so they can be on their screen, and they're not connecting with the family. So it's affecting our family relationships as well. It's causing a lot of conflict at home in homes as well. I know I'm dealing with this one, especially with these boys with gaming. When we say it's too much, get off, there's some huge conflict and arguments and punishments that are being dealt out because of excessive gaming and screen time. It does affect your kid's behavior. A lot of parents are telling me, and I've seen it myself, when the kid gets off the game, they're more hyper, maybe more agitated and angry and mad because they had to get off. Some of them are so anxious to get on it and be on it. So it's affecting their behavior as well, right? There's so many things. There's now a gaming disorder syndrome for those individuals who are constantly gaming to the point where they're not sleeping, they're not eating, they're not functioning, they're not doing their daily things that they need to do. That's a problem. That's a mental, that's now in the new diagnostic of mental disorders, okay? So that's a problem. So I could go on and on. We have teenagers who stuck on social media. They're dealing with cyberbullying. Their self-esteem and confidence is based on how many likes they have. So these screens are causing problems. There was a recent study that showed cortical thinning of the brain in 9 to 10-year-olds who had excessive screen time over 7 hours a day. So think about that. How much is your child on a screen? I said TV, tablets, smartphones, and gaming. The brain is being changed. So guys, we've got to get this under control. So my second point is, how do we do that? All right. First, let's talk about what's normal, what's acceptable. The American Academy of Pediatrics has given recommendations on screen time. All right. Believe it or not, toddlers, children under 18 months of age should not be on screens at all. And how many of us see babies already in the phones? My baby's almost 2 in another week or so. Yay! And she is already attracted to my phone. She's constantly grabbing my phone. She loves Daddy Shark, Baby Shark, and she's always trying to get the phone and go on YouTube. She knows the red button now. She clicks it and she listens to the song and all the other little colorful Wheels on the Bus and things of that nature. It's already got her brain like wanting to click, grab, touch buttons and things of that nature. So 18 months and younger should not be on a screen, except for video chatting or FaceTiming with a parent who's away. Okay? As they get older, from 18 months to 24 months to 2 years, in that span, you can do some quality media like PBS, Sesame Street, maybe occasional nursery rhyme on YouTube Kids or something. As long as you co-view with your child, and that's very limited amounts of time. So I say strategically use that. Children 2 years of age and older, we need to limit the screen time to at least 1 hour a day, at the max 1 hour a day, and also should be quality media that you also are co-viewing with your child. Again, PBS, Sesame Street, those types of things, age appropriate. And then children who are older, 6 and older, we just definitely want to limit it. And that's going to be specific to your child. If they have a lot of homework and they need to use the computer, you have to just watch it and limit it. Just make sure sleep, activity, physical activity, none of that stuff is getting the short end of the stick. Okay? Now, how do we do this? Keeping that in mind. What I recommend is going to healthychildren.org, searching the Family Media Use Plan. That's the American Academy of Pediatrics website, healthychildren.org. Searching Family Media Use Plan and create a plan that's specific for your family and your children by age. Okay? It's going to give you, when you go through there, you'll click the buttons and you'll create a plan to limit screens in certain areas of the home, certain times of the home. It really is helpful. You'll come up with a beautiful plan and you can laminate it, put it up. Everybody knows, grandparents, babysitters, all of that. And that'll give you structure to help your child have some limitations on how to use these screens. That's just a start. It's a good start. But just keep in mind, we have the proof of the negative effects. In minimalization, not moderation, in minimalization, it's all good. So just limit it, strike a balance, know that there are guidelines. I gave you those. Create that media use plan, and that will help you have a guide. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about today. Hopefully this was helpful. The other thing, kind of piggybacking on last week, is as you're holiday shopping, I just did a media story on this yesterday and I think it's going to air today. As you're holiday shopping, please don't forget to purchase old school toys. Okay, real toys. That helps you to limit screen time. When your children have real toys like blocks and Play-Doh and go outside and play with balls and puzzles and board games, that allows you to get in there and interact. They can actually really play and not be stuck on a screen. So save yourself some money and don't buy the high price electronics. Buy real toys, and it benefits your child. It's more healthy for them. So thank you guys for listening. We'll talk next week with the Word in the Clinic. Bye-bye.